graders. Here we are with lesson 4.1 on ratios and rates. A ratio is a comparison of two quantities by division. So there are three ways to write a ratio. And they all read the same way. 3 to 5, you can write it out. Make sure you write this in your notes. 3 over 5 reads 3 to 5. Or 3:5 reads 3 to 5. Notice that whatever thing comes first is what we're assuming came first. Like if they said write a ratio of 15 boys to 4 girls, you would have to make sure that you put the boys in the first spot. Okay, here's an example. Write the ratio 50 seconds to 2 minutes in simplest form. So I'm comparing two things. I'm comparing 50 seconds and I'm comparing 2 minutes. I'm going to start by making it a fraction, and I'm going to write 50 seconds over 2 minutes. Then I'm going to give them the same units because this one's in minutes and this one is seconds. So I'm going to go to seconds. Usually it's easier to go to the smaller thing. And I'm going to think how many seconds are in a minute. There's 60. So 60 times 2 is 120. And then my last step is to reduce or simplify that fraction. So I can see right away that I can divide them both by 10 and get rid of both of those zeros. And I will end up with a simplified 5 to 12. Or I could write it over here, 5 seconds to 12 seconds. All right, a rate is a ratio comparing quantities that are in different units. An example would be like miles and gallons or miles and hours. Anytime we're comparing two things of different quantities, we call it a rate. A unit rate is the rate of one unit, one right here, for every different quantity. So an example would be miles per second. Whenever you have this per here, you know you're talking about unit rates. You can also show a per with a slash. So I could show miles per second by doing miles slash s. Or miles per hour is another one that is really common as a unit rate. Or cents per ounce. Here's an example. Find the unit rate for 52 deliveries in 8 hours. Here I gave you a little hint. Whichever unit you want one of should be on the bottom. So we're going to set it up as a ratio, and I'm going to do it as a fraction. And I have 52 deliveries and 8 hours. When I have my final answer, do I want to know the deliveries per hour or the hours per delivery? Right, I'm probably going to be more interested in the amount of deliveries in 1 hour. So since I want this to be for 1 hour, that's what's going to go on the bottom, the 8 hours. And on the top will go the 52 deliveries. So now I have my 52 deliveries to 8 hours, and I'm going to divide them to figure out what it is for 1. So 52 divided by 8 equals 6.5. So my answer is 6.5 deliveries per hour. And it is very, 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 very important that I always have my label with these, okay? Unit rates don't really mean much of anything without a label on them. Unit rates can also help us to find the best deal at the grocery store. So here's an example. Is buying a 64-ounce bottle of cranberry juice for $2.99 or a 12-ounce bottle for $1.59 a better deal? For these types of problems, the money always goes on top of the fraction. And that's because we want to know what 1 ounce is, how much money we're going to spend on 1 ounce of each to get a fair comparison going. So I'm going to find the unit rate of these two options. So my first option is 64 ounces for $2.99. I'm going to put the $2.99 on the top and the 64 ounces on the bottom. Okay, and that one, I'm going to use my calculator again. So I have 299 divided by 64 equals, and then I'm going to round it to the nearest cents. So since cents only takes 2 decimal places, I'm going to look one before that at the 6. And since 6 is bigger than 5, it will round this 4 up to a 5. This would be 5 cents per ounce. Let's find out what the other one's going to be. So for my second option, I had 12 ounces for 159. 159 divided by 12. And so we found out that for this deal, it's going to be 13 cents an ounce. So which one's a better deal? Is it better to pay 5 cents an ounce, or is it better to pay 13 cents an ounce? Obviously, the smaller one per ounce is a better deal because it's costing me less money. So in this case, if I bought the bigger bottle, even though it costs more money because I'm going to spend $2.99, that's the better deal. So I'll come back up into my answer and I will circle the 64-ounce option. Here's some more examples. So write 36 seconds to 12 minutes in simplest form. You can try to do these, pause the video, and then check your answers to see if it's right. So I'm going to do 36 seconds to 12 minutes. I need to give them the same unit. So I'm going to go from minutes to seconds. There's 60 seconds in a minute, so I'm going to do 60 times 12. And now to simplify it, I'm going to remind you how to do this in your calculator. You're going to put in 36, and then you're going to push this fraction button right here. And then you're going to put your denominator as 720. So I got this, and when I hit equal, it tells me that it's going to be 1 over 20. And so my answer is 1 to 20 seconds. All right, B, computer time costs $4.50 for 30 minutes. What is the unit rate? Well, do I want to know minutes per cents, or do I want to know cents or money per minute? I want to know per minute. So I'm going to put the minute on the bottom. So I have 450 over 30 minutes. Do 450, don't forget your decimal, divided by 30 equals 15 cents. So that means that it is 15 cents per minute. And my last question here, I've got 267 miles with 11 gallons of gas, or 210 miles with 9 gallons of gas. So I want to know miles per gallon. So I'm going to set up two ratios here, 267 over 11 or 210 over 9, and figure out what they are. 267 divided by 11 is 24.27 miles per gallon. This one is 23.33. So what's better? Is it better to get 23 miles per gallon, or is it better to get 24 miles per gallon? Well, in this case, obviously I want more miles per gallon. So that means that this choice, this top choice, this car does better. That gets 267 miles with 11 gallons of gas. All right, well, those are all of the questions. I hope that you're understanding this. If not, go back and see if you can figure out where you're making your mistakes. Go ahead and get to work.